doing all of these things, continuing until you feel comfortable, will lead you to a thriving life. Hello. Welcome to How to Mondays on Gratified Grad, where it's my goal to help you graduate with gratification. This channel is for people who are looking to walk in their purpose, live healthier lives, and prepare for their education. So in today's video, it's actually going to be an older video of me that I recorded. The topic of this video is how to succeed as a Black person at Penn State. Hi there. So this video is going to be about how I not only survived, but how I am thriving as a fourth-year PhD candidate in the biochemistry, microbiology, and molecular biology program at Penn State University. If you're not familiar, biochemistry, microbiology, and molecular biology is a part of the hard sciences in the STEM field, and Penn State is a PWI, predominantly white institution. I went to an HBCU, and I'm from Mobile, Alabama. So the first doing a little math here. The first 21 to 22 years of my life, I've been surrounded by people that look like me, or at least a really good diverse population of people. And then I came to Penn State, Central Pennsylvania, State College, Pennsylvania, and didn't see that many people that look like me. My first year, I did not let it affect me, or at least I tried not to. I tried to ignore it, and I was just like, I'm meant to be here. This is me. This is why I'm here for school. And I'll never forget the summer of me being here. A Black guy walked through the lab space. Now, mind you, there was one other Black person in my area, and no, I lied, there was two. The other guy, I never saw him at all because he never left his lab. And then the other girl who was Black, she worked in the same lab as I did. And so I saw her pretty frequently. But as I've learned a new term, critical mass, one is not enough for me. And so, and when I say one, I mean seeing one Black person every day is not enough for me. So I saw this Black guy walk down the hallway, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Black person. Like, I just got so excited, and I was just like, what are you doing here? How are you? What's going on? It was, as I now laugh about it, but in that time, it was a very interesting moment because I was just really taken aback by the fact that I had that type of response to seeing a Black person. And so I still didn't pay it much attention. I continued to focus on myself and my life and my own growth. And I did seek community outside of my lab space, in the sense of once a month I participated with the Black Graduate Student Association, and I hung out with them quite often. Something that I would also like to note is that I do identify as a woman, but I had a female PI. The lab next door to me, she was also a female PI, and that was enough for me. So that's interesting, right? 1, 2, it's not enough in terms of me identifying or me feeling comfortable as a Black person, but 2 women was enough for me to feel comfortable as a woman in science. Anywho, so I started to lean more into the Black community. So that's my first point. Community. Get with it. Do not come to a place where you are far and few and try to continue to strive and make it on your own. It's not a healthy or happy process. yeah, so like I said, I hung out with the Black Graduate Student Association, did different events and such with them, and then I stayed involved. And so over the course of the next year, I started meeting more Black women who were working at Penn State, whether or not they were in science or in other places. But I found Black women. And then I also got to where I prided myself on being able to say that I could at least say that I know most of the Black graduate students by face. Today, I not as much pride myself on that because I am satisfied as, well, I won't say satisfied, right? It's Penn State, the area could be better, but I'm safe. I feel safe as a Black person. So therefore, I don't feel the need to seek out all Black people anymore. But that was one of my ways of coping. That was one of my ways of feeling as if I belonged here. And so, yeah, so going back to the fact that I built community, I found people that looked like me. I gained mentors that looked like me, and I sought them out regularly. So community, meaning your peers, mentors, people who are advocates of you, people who understand where you come from. And then I started to also look within myself and ask myself, what did I need? What are the things that make me comfortable? And how can I rearrange my environment to where I'm interacting with those things? And so for me, what that looked like was I organized my desk at work in a way that I had quotes that I really liked. I put up different pictures that I had taken with lab members. I put up my awards that I received. I also put up, why is it leaving me? I just did different things to make my lab space make me feel comfortable with being there. And then when it comes to my personal life, my home life, I always kind of made sure to design a space that I loved, a space that was functional, and a space that really worked for me. And so that takes time. I moved every single year that I got here. My first year I moved because I wanted a dog. And then my second year I moved because I just didn't like the place, the location. And then my third year I moved because I got a house. And so I continuously moved until I got to a place where I was happy. And now that I have my own home, I decorate it in a way that everything I look at, everything that I touch, everything that I interact with brings me joy. And I think that those three things put together, so creating a space that you love, creating a space that you enjoy, having mentors that can relate to you, that can help you get through a process, and then also having a community of people that not necessarily are mentors, but just your peer community to be around and to talk to. Oh, and I would also like to add, I did experiment with a few other things too. I started a group called Minority Graduate Students in STEM, where I got together all of my friends. That's pretty much what it came out to be, but minorities. And I then found faculty members that were minorities. And I asked them, what are your tricks? What are your tools? What is your advice? And so for a whole academic school year, we brought in about 6 or 7 different faculty members and had them bring their advice, share their perspective. And all the while, me building up this network, me talking to these people, it increased my comfortability at Penn State. And clearly I didn't plan this out beforehand, because another thing is reading, making myself knowledgeable, making myself aware of things, of psychological things that I may not necessarily on my own be aware of. And so one of the more recent books that I read that I also did a review on is Whistling Vivaldi by Claude M. Steele. This book has been amazing in me understanding stereotype thread and all of those things. So to sum everything up, we're just gonna, I think it may be 4 or 5 things here. Reading, so getting an understanding of your environment, yourself, and how you fit in it and what psychological information has been known. Building your community and being around your peers. Getting mentors that can relate to you and understand what you're going through. And designing a space in which you love.